What's up everyone? Welcome to the review of the ZTE Citrine LTE. The Citrine features a 4-inch WVGA display that has a resolution of 480 by 800 and a pixel density of 233. The handset features a 5 megapixel main camera on the back which records in 720p along with the LED flash, ZTE branding, and the 2 notches for the speaker. And on the front it has a 2 megapixel shooter right up there. Now as you can see here, the back is a very weird and very noticeable pattern. I don't know what I would call that, probably the squares. It feels really nice, and the camera does stick out quite a bit, so when you go to set it down, sorry, as I bumped the tripod, and you can see you can rock it very easily. And honestly, to me that's not a good thing, because this camera, you will scratch this camera if you're not careful. And it's probably going to be hard to pick up, but right underneath the camera says digital camera in text. Camera's trying hard to focus, but it can't focus. Well, you can see right there, digital camera. And I also forgot to mention that there's a microphone right in the back. Down below the display we have 3 capacitive buttons: back, home, and recent apps, which light up blue when turned on. And as you can see, the home button is the only visible button on it, but when you power it on like so, you can notice that 3 buttons down below, and they do turn off after a certain period of time. Up top here we have your earpiece, then underneath we have the TracFone logo, then we have that 4-inch display, those buttons I just told you about. On the left side we have nothing but the standard size micro USB charging port, while on the right side we have its volume rockers up and down right there, which are pretty well raised and offer a really nice feeling when pressed. At the top we have its 3.5mm headphone jack to the left and its top mounted power button, which is a little weird because most of my devices are like on the right side, but this one has it on the top for whatever reason. The handset runs Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, as you can see here, and has a quad-core 1.1 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 210 processor, or 210 chipset, with 1 GB of RAM, a Cortex A7, didn't load there, Cortex A7 CPU, and an Adreno 3 or 4 GPU. See up here, Cortex A7, down there, Adreno 3 or 4. The handset has 8 GB of built-in storage, with around 3 GB available to the user right out of the box. Right now I only have about 1.37 GB available, and I'm totally fine with that. I can get by with only 3 GB of storage quite easily because I don't use that many apps. The handset storage can luckily be expanded via the micro SD card slot found on the back. Let me go ahead and pop out the back cover really quick, if I can find the port here. Let me cover up the battery really quick. There's where your micro SD card goes, and there's your SIM card slot. And yeah, I cut myself with my knife, as I mentioned in the unboxing, that I cut myself with my new knife. Make sure it's sealed up. Powering the handset, I don't know why I put it back on. Powering the handset is a user removable 1650 mAh Li-on battery that has a battery talk time of around 12 hours, while battery standby time is around 7 days. And this battery is significantly lower than the Alcatel Dawn. I think the Alcatel Dawn has a 1750 mAh battery, whereas this one has a 1650, if I do stand correctly. And sorry for the background noise if you can hear that ambulance. I'm in the back, as you can see, right by my window for good lighting, as you can see here, working out very well. But I know I'm butchering this review by saying stuff that I probably usually wouldn't say. Alright, now let's get to the gaming portion. Back out of here. Having that 1.1 gigahertz processor, I can tell you it's not slow, but it does take a while to respond. But as I mentioned, it is not slow. It does the job. Actually, what am I saying? Before we get to the gaming, let's, first run these tests. As you can see, I just installed it. And I will come back. I wasn't expecting to do any jump cuts for this video, but it looks like I will. I will come back once quadrant, I can't talk, has finished up. Or finished. Alright, that didn't take long, so let's go ahead and see what score we get. So we score about 9,164, which is quite respectable. Some of my Android phones that are a 4-inch display or this small doesn't score that much. It scores around maybe 5,000 to 6,000, but not 9,000, so that's really respectable. Down here, if the camera will focus, the CPU is 36,107 with a memory of 3,115. Like I had mentioned, very respectable score. Let's back out of here. If I can touch the buttons. Camera's not wanting to focus. It looks like it's okay. There we go. It's focused. Oh, come on. Touching buttons all over here when I'm trying to clear out the multitasking. Alright, now time for a Geekbench 4, and we all know that Geekbench 4 takes forever no matter what phone you have. Well, low-end phone you have, it takes forever, so I'll be back once it has finished up. Alright, we are back quite some time later, so here we go. Geekbench has just finished. We got a single core score of 386 with a multi-core score of 969. About what you would expect with a 1.1 gigahertz processor. So, not on the chart, and we're not on the chart, so yeah, there's not much budget phone can do with Geekbench. I might have said that wrong, but there you go. Alright, now, just about to do a jump cut, but I told myself I wasn't going to do any jump cuts in this video, but I did some, so oh well. But now we're going to get onto the gaming. And before I get onto that, actually, if you want to download this wallpaper, if you're wondering where I got it from, sorry, I'm just checking my hand, it kind of hurts, aches. If you're wondering where I got this wallpaper from, well, I got it from 10,000 Wallpapers. You can download a whole bunch of really very nice wallpapers. No, I'm not a sponsor, if you're wondering. Alright, let's get on to gaming. The usual Asphalt Nitro. I feel like this is probably the best game to test on these phones, because it's sort of like Asphalt 8 in a way, but it's just in a smaller file size, that I'm told by a good friend. We're going to sit here and wait, because it really shouldn't take that long to load. And usually the gaming part is the longest part of the video. I want to install Google Play Games. Go and insert my information. Really doesn't matter if I show it or not. I'm 17 and I'm a male. Whatever, I don't know why I had to bring it off camera. There you go, whatever. No, I don't want push notifications because I'm not going to be keeping the game. No thanks. Skip. I already know how to play, thank you. Play. As you can see, just basic navigating around to start. It's pretty smooth. Usual ads. Sound is turned down, if you're wondering. Matter of fact, I could turn the sound up. But overall, while this is loading, the overall feeling of the handset is very nice. I am a big fan of the back cover of this phone. I sort of like how the camera protrudes like it does, but at the same time I'm actually nervous because it will actually scratch more easily when it's raised like that, so yeah. And 4 inches is still a sweet spot for me with most handsets, because as you can see here, I have like medium-sized hands. You see I can grip it well, and I can reach all corners of it easily, as you can see here, so very nice. My only complaint so far is just the front facing camera. In good lighting you could probably get good shots, but in the lighting that I have, it's no count. It's kinda useless. Is it me or is that new music? Thought I had nitrous, but I don't. That's how you do it. Get back here. Take that. Jokes. Not really. As I'm playing here, it's very playable. I don't see no frame droppage of any major kind, so that's always a good thing. It's very playable on Asphalt Nitro, and I totally missed that bottle. Careful not to hit one of those poles. Oops, totally missed that ramp. But as you can see here, as I keep going off screen for no apparent reason, Asphalt Nitro on this phone is very playable. You can play it no problems. Oop. I keep going off screen, and I need to try my best to keep it in screen. And the back speaker does muffle when you cover it up just right. As I slam into the freaking guardrail. That's how you drift right there, if you saw that. And second place, that's not bad. I don't know how I got second, but I did. But here you go, just playing it back. It looks really smooth on my end. No issues at all. And going back home, as you can see, it does take a while. Apps do disappear, but they fly back. They fly back at a reasonable time. And as you can see, no slowdowns whatsoever with this device. And to make mention, there is really no bloatware with this device, except for the one little My Account downloader from TracFone. But that's pretty much it. This device, and Wi-Fi utility, which I never use. But on the bloatware side, this thing barely has any, which is very nice. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of the ZTE Citrine LTE, and I'll see you again in the next one.